Six tips. I got to go to two hands because I did six tips to leveling up your mindset. So, hey everybody, my name is Levi Hunsaker and my wife Jill and I are running this page, and today we want to talk about the six keys to leveling up your mindset. Now, what do you think a scarcity mindset is? Go ahead and drop that below. And then the second thing is, what do you think an abundance mindset is? Let's go ahead and drop that below as well. So let me know what you think a scarcity mindset is and an abundance mindset. All right. Now, the next question that I've got for you is, do you believe that you have a scarcity or an abundance mindset? Now, you just might actually be surprised about that. It's always an area of life where if we look in different areas like faith, family, fitness, finances, fun, philanthropy, any of these types of things that we do we have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset? And it's possible to have both, or even just an average mindset. In different areas of life, we can actually have different mindsets based on the experiences that we've had. So when we look at this, we want to talk about scarcity versus abundance. There's kind of an average mindset in the middle. Now, what does that mean? Scarcity, well, that is talking about never having enough. Or, you know what? I may never get this again, so I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. And really, scarcity it belongs in this short-term focus area of our lives. Now, if we think about health, for example, are we eating what tastes good to us, or are we eating what is going to make our bodies healthy and fuel our bodies and those things? That's just a simple example. But each of these areas of our lives, we can have differences in scarcity versus abundance. What is the long-term goal? That's when we start getting into abundance. An average mentality is just kind of like meh, mediocre. Maybe it's complacency. Things are good enough. You don't necessarily want to strive for anything else. And that's where, I love a quote by Ellen Glasgow. She actually says the difference between a rut and the grave is the depth. The only difference between a rut and a grave is the depth. By Ellen Glasgow said that quote. And I love that because it puts into perspective that when we are stuck, when we're complacent, we are basically on a slow path to death. And that doesn't mean physical death necessarily. It could be that we have just lost passion, the death of the passion in our lives. And you know what? I've been there where I was just happy to just be. I didn't care to do anything special. I didn't have things that I enjoyed doing. I worked a lot and I was okay with that. But I realized that there's so much more to life than just being and being stuck in that rut. And the longer you're stuck in that rut, the harder it is to get out of. So I have now stopped thinking about the good enough mentality either, because I want to take it to the next level. And that's where abundance comes in. And really, abundance is all about overflowing. You've got a bucket, you're filling it up to the top so that it's overflowing and there's more than enough for anyone and everyone that comes along. So much so that you can turn around and share that with other people. You're overflowing with opportunity, more than enough. And really, this right here, this abundance mentality, this is the space where creativity and passion thrives when there's abundance. So just, I encourage you guys all to really look and see what your passions are, see what creativity you have and what you want to go after, because that's where the abundance is. And then examine your life. And it's not about blame or pointing fingers or feeling inadequate in areas. But if you don't examine an area of your life and understand where you're at, it's really hard to know where you're going when you don't know where you are and you don't know the direction to head. So examination, understanding, taking an inventory of where you're at is very important for moving forward. Okay, so we're going to jump into the 6 tips for leveling up your mindset. So the first one is you got to understand where you are. It looks like I jumped the gun a little bit and started talking to that. Realizing that your current mentality, that was something that was handed to you. Sometimes you can move beyond that, but as we grow up, young kids into adults, a lot of our mentality is based on our environment, what has been basically handed to us our entire lives. And so we have to step outside of ourselves and explore some new things and really realize that that mentality, it's yours for the taking. You just have to seize that opportunity. Second thing is challenge your thoughts. So where are you currently at in your thoughts? And it's the reason where you are right now. So if you maybe want to make a change, you've got to make room for new thoughts. And sometimes that means emptying the cup, dumping it out, and making space for something new. Be open to new possibilities. Be open to new thoughts, to new ideas. And that doesn't mean abandon you know, your foundation or your morals or anything. There are certain things that are you to the core, and those aren't going to change. But everything else, that's a choice. So be open to changing your current thoughts. The third thing is have a deep passion to be free. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you want to be caged and stuck in that rut, basically, and you're okay being complacent, you're okay being where you're at, you don't aspire to anything bigger than where you currently are, well, you don't have that desire to be free, to explore, to experience new things. So really, I would encourage you, as the third tip, to jump out there, experience new things, explore new passions, and have that passion to have that freedom to do that. The fourth thing is, guess what? As you get going down a path of change, you're going to have to deal with things that you just never thought were possible. I mean, 2020 is a perfect example of that. Who thought we would be here in this current situation today? I had no clue. If you would have asked me 8 months ago what this would have looked like, I thought we would have been way beyond this by now. But the reality is, we don't always get to decide what happens to us, but we get to decide how we respond. So be prepared to deal with that and take that challenge head on. The fifth tip is you got to give up negative things that you like about your mentality. You know, that might be unhealthy relationships, food, people, money. Just look at what the negative things are in that are holding you back from moving forward. And you know what? You might have to part with those even though you like them. Some people call that a vice. It may not even be a vice, but it might just be something that's holding you back. That's an okay thing, but it's not a great thing. So really examine it, and you have to decide. Everything in life requires some type of sacrifice or another. And so decide what you're willing to sacrifice to get the things that you really want, whether that's success, family, you know, take your pick. You get to decide because it's your life. Nobody else gets to decide that for you. So make sure that you have a clear path on what that looks like for you, and be willing to examine what's holding you back. And the last tip, number 6, be prepared to walk away from characteristics of mentality. Maybe that is the way that you dress, speech, actions, music, movies, TV. You know, anything that goes into your mind stays in your mind. So what do you want to feed your mindset with? For me, it's not always easy, and sometimes I fall back into old habits and old traps. But if you feed your mind with positivity and feed your mind with where you want to go, what your mind focuses on is what you will realize when you put committed, consistent action to it. So let's talk about those 6 tips one more time. The first, understand where you're at. Second, challenge your current thoughts. Third, have a deep passion to be free. Fourth, prepare to deal with the unexpected. 5, give up negative things about your mentality. And 6, be prepared to walk away from characteristics of your mentality. When you can really embrace those 6 key traits to level up your mindset, to take you to the next step, to make a leap in your business to that next step, to make a leap in your life to that next step, that's when you can really put your willpower and your determination behind it and make real long lasting change. So I encourage you guys, let me know what your favorite tip was in the comments below, and be sure to check out our podcast. My buddy Ryan and I, it's called Champion Hustle. You can find it on any of your favorite podcast directories, or you can go to championhustle.com. And we've even gotten an episode that dives deep into this scarcity versus abundance. So go ahead and check that out, and I will talk to you guys later.